Topiks, Bankie Yahsonn. Real conversations. Lately we be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. We be having conversations with the people, cause too many media houses changing up the news. Everything was green light, now we seeing red. Everybody got opinions, few got facts instead. We be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. Tuesday night and everybody tuned in live. Bankie Yahsonn bringing reason in every time. Talking politics and the things affecting lives. Breaking down the stories they be trying to hide. Used to trust the system, now the trust gone. Everybody talking loud, but the facts wrong. People tired of the fake and the gimmicks too, so they coming to these topics for a clear review. Got the whole Caribbean locked on the station. Real entertainment network building conversation. No script vibes, now stage for the camera. Just real people talking straight with stamina. Yeah, we be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. We be having conversations with the people, cause too many media houses changing up the news. Everything was green light, now we seeing red. Everybody got opinions, you got facts instead. We be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. Sometimes Fridays got a special live session. Big topics got the whole place stressing. Agriculture, crime, economy discussion. Every episode spark another conversation, and the comments start flying when the lights start. Everybody got a view from the heart. Some agree and some disagree too, but at least these topics bringing real views. No pretending when the mic turn on. Yahsonn reasoning while Bankie stay strong. People checking in from overseas too, cause authentic conversation hard to come through. Everything was green light, now we seeing red. Everybody got opinions, few got facts instead. We be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking true.
And the global greetings. It's another beautiful Tuesday evening here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Oli and Layamiga, that is. Yes, Oli, Nevis, Layamiga, St. Kitts. Want to say good evening to the rest of the entire Eastern Caribbean. Want to say good evening, good morning, or good night, depending on where you may be geographically located. We definitely want to welcome you to another edition of the Topics, and the Topics is sponsored by Islander Water Sports, Under Rocks, Shabazz Organics, and the Imperial Rides Taxi and Tours. And we are in with another exciting edition, and this evening's edition, it's all about you. It's all about destiny, it's all about SSZ, and it's all about you. Meaning, from the get-go this evening, we're going to have a couple of clips that we're going to get into, but then we are going to be opening up the phone line pretty early. 1-869-662-7196 for you to call in and weigh in and give your views and opinions in regards to your thoughts on the Destiny Project, your thoughts on the situation as is, your thoughts on comments made by the Prime Minister and comments made by the Premier in relation to the Destiny Project. And you can even weigh in on your lack of information from the directly from the developers and the lack of transparency in the sense of such a major project not being given the public the opportunity to scrutinize and you know see if the value and all of the promotion that is being promoted, if they are truly uh, more benefits than loss, or if it is going to be more of a loss to us than the benefits that are being created or promoted. And so a lot of this tonight is going to be open to you, and we want to let you weigh in from pretty early. It's just me and the co-host this evening, Bankie Yahsonn, and it's just going to be us with you and the comments on whether it's Facebook, YouTube wall, or the Twitch wall, and the phone calls as you call in to weigh in on your position, your thoughts, and so forth. And so it's all about you this evening as we get the show rolling. This edition of the Topiks here on the Entertainment Network. And so, with that said, I am going to. Well, before that, I wanna take a minute, Bankie, and um, commend the efforts of all of the people who were a part of helping to rescue the people who were on the boats, I have to say, because I learned that there was another boat that left out of St. Kitts and was heading to Antigua on the same day. And there were 8 passengers on that boat who that boat sank as well, seemingly. And they had to be rescued as well on their way heading to Antigua. So, to those people and to those who were on the upper side and Nevis, heading from St. Kitts to Nevis, and to all of those, whether it was the fishermen, whether it was the Coast Guard, whether it was the Makana Ferry, and all of the others who were very, very quick in terms of responding to the call, I am really and truly grateful for them, and that at the end of the day, we had no life lost. And I really do feel empathy with those who would be going through the trauma, because even though no life was lost, just the fear factor and the thoughts of that, and the closeness in terms of proximity to 1 month away from, basically a little bit more than 1 month away from the Christina disaster, and that in itself is another issue that I think should be brought into light, because from us here on the platform, we have been saying that we think that some sort of um, compensation should have been paid to the families and so on who went through that. I know there's the argument whether it's the government of think it's a Nevis or the British government, whoever should compensate, because at that time we were not independent and all that. But anyway, that's another discussion and something that needs to be discussed as well. But I just wanted to take the time to congratulate all of those, thank all of those who would have helped in such a time, and it shows that that we can still come together as a people. That the issues that we need to you know forget about petty parties and politics, and realize that the issues of national issues, nation issues, that we need to come together and forget about the divide inside who you support and look at issues for what issues are. And so I'm hopeful this evening that through our discussions and the people calling and so on, we could have some of that, because that is what this is all about. Democracy at that level where there's no biases. We don't care what party you support. We just want you to be able to weigh in and look at issues and be critical. We want to encourage folks as well when you call in, to be as forceful and as passionate as you would want to, but we want to remind you to be as respectful as well, just equally as respectful, and so that you don't put the platform into any position for liability, and also to disrespect somebody. Because personally, I feel that we should have you know engaging topics like somebody without having to be disrespectful by calling names and we do like that. I mean, as I belittle the person, disrespect the person, but I can express my disagreement with the point or whatever position and stuff like that. And I'm hopeful that we could have that level of, engagement. So I said I'm hopeful, and I'm going to allow my co-host now to introduce himself. So Bankie, greetings, welcome to another edition of the topic.
Yeah, greetings, Yahsonn, and greetings to all those who tuning into Real Entertainment Network. Greatly appreciate you guys. Can you hear me, Yahsonn?
Yes, definitely loud and clear.
Okay, it seems like there's...
Yeah, hear me loud and
Okay. All right. Well, sorry about that. Just seems like some technical difficulty on my end. I guess not. All right. So I was saying good evening to all those who tuning in, and greatly appreciate you guys tuning into choosing Real Entertainment Network. And another edition is the last day of this month, June, which is the start of the summertime, and really appreciate you could be listening to any media house, but you choose to listen to Real Entertainment Network. This evening, definitely looking forward for the reasoning and for you guys to be taking part in the conversation also with your all texts and your all phone calls and stuff like that. We're just coming out of the weekend of the music festival on the White Sands, and Yahsonn touch on the tragedy, and glad everyone is okay, and gonna shout out to Frankie and the team of the chance of that particular boat and stuff like that. I mean, no one plans for these things to happen, and hopefully something like this will bring more safety awareness and stuff like that within the transportation system and stuff like that. So with some negative, it always bring some improvement and stuff like that. So that is important. So apart from that, so Frankie, keep your head up and your crew, and continue partaking and delivering people safe to safe, because you're one of those people that when called upon, whether it's agriculture department or any other entity, you definitely make the run to save us and bat and stuff like that, along with Islanders. So glad everyone is okay. So Yahsonn, this week gonna start us into the festival, where the opening will start this Thursday, and then the Friday event will be over at Cadesby area by a new area, Shaska, formerly New Brent, and then the Saturday goes into a food tour where they start at Pass and go up to Carbos and the Rocks, and then they'll stop at the heritage site over there for the girls, where I myself will be partaking, showcasing some mango, and have a few mango for sales and local drink like Marby and jelly water and mango cheesecake and plantain chips, everything that is done locally and grown on the farm. So definitely always looking forward for this event, yes, and just want to give thanks for tourism who always bring me on board to showcase my information when it comes to mangoes that is going on the island and different types and the history of mangoes and stuff like that. So I also want to big up Obi, because he always give me a history saying his family is the one who had the first Amipali trees over in River Part, and they get the material from Guyana. So that's the closest information I can get. No one ever told me where the mango ever came from and stuff like that. I think before I had idea maybe it's Barbados, but Obi said it's Guyana. So if anyone want to challenge Obi, can say it's his family, so the debate can continue from there. So Obi, big up yourself on that information, so that can be added to my information when speaking about the Amipali and stuff like that. So I appreciate that information. So right now is I'm getting a lot of phone calls about mangoes and stuff like that, but I'm trying to work with everybody because we realize the season had come in very early, but you still have a few trees, especially. But my thing is to get the different varieties. I will encourage the Nevisians especially to try other mangoes and not just to base on one type of mango. The Amipolica is teeny mango, long mango. There's so much other mangoes that is so tasty and edible, and we seem to holding on one mango. What I love about the St. Kitts people and some of the other countries, they just love mangoes and don't want, and just want to eat any type of mango. But when you vision, they just want one type of mango, and that is crazy to have so much mangoes, and you just don't even want to bother with the rest. I just that ain't show me that these people love mango. They just want one type of mango. Okay, if you're a mango lover, you my one of my favorite is teeny mango. Yes, the Pali is alright, but
Bye.
it's so much other
Bye.
mangoes.
I was just about to tell you that
So
it's too teeny mango. I call him teeny, but we call him seedy. I like them mangoes, right? They're was one of my sweetest, the favorite mangoes. But I think it's because we have so much mangoes and Nevis, where we have that sort of prejudice. Like when you have an abundance, that's why you could afford to choose the one or ones that you you love. And when you're not necessarily accustomed to, as we would say, so to speak, you will eat almost anything when it comes to mango. But for me personally, I'm like you, Bankie. I'm open to eating almost any kind of mangoes, but I have some of my favorites. And yeah, we want to welcome folks as they come on into the islands, be a part of Mango Fest, and be able to sample as many mangoes as you can. And Banky, I must give thanks for the efforts that you've been putting out for all of these years for Mango Fest. The man called it the Mango Man. I mean, even the Mr. Jones, Fian Jones. I mean, when he was on the program, and we got to get him on physically. But when he was on the call the other day, he mentioned the fact that you are known as the Mango Man, in terms of Nevis and promoting mango. And so, got to give you your promotion as well, sorry, your tips and your tip our hats to you. Because sometimes people like you do things, and it is not necessarily given the sort of credence. Not that you do it to look any credence either, However, I'm a kind of person that whoever you are, I mean, if you're doing something good, yeah, I feel like it should be given its jacket, give Jackie's jacket. And
give thanks.
you,
Yeah.
for over the years, doing what you have been doing in terms of making the effort to go out and find out kind of different varieties of mangoes and making sure that they're on display and have the information to present and so forth. Yes, it really means a lot. So, continue. Want to say good evening, Banky, as we continue and encourage folks. The line is open. So if you want to call in to be a part
Yes.
of the program, 1-866-271-96. As you get into the clips,
Well, just
Banky,
let
I
me
know you want to get
continue.
into
Yeah, I'm going to
yes, we're gonna have to
continue before
commence soon.
my introduction. Let me finish up
Oh yes,
my
go ahead.
introduction. So, I just want to thank those who come out on a basis and support Manso's last stop. Get their fresh vegetables, whether it's melon, okra. We have cucumber, watermelon, plantain, bananas, and you can still get your local drink, your jelly water, Mahabi, your melon juice, your passion fruit, and your incense and natural soaps and noni juice and stuff like that. Whatever you don't see, you just ask, and we'll sure accommodate you and stuff like that. So, also just want to say thank all those who come out on a daily basis, and just want to big up the chef, Amanis, also Aisha and Tasha overseas who partake in, along with myself, keeping my Uncle Man's legacy alive and stuff like that. He's a legend. He has put in his work in the agricultural sector over the years. So definitely appreciate that. So thanks again for all those who are coming out, and definitely for this long weekend. The place is hot, so get your watermelon juice. Hydrate your body, give you all that electrolytes and minerals that your body need, and it's like liquid food. So come out and get your watermelon while stock lasts. Yes, and I was there this evening on my roof terrace day and just looking over on the south side. I have like the perfect view of the port, Cherry Garden, Simbat and stuff like that. And it will be sad to see that looking at that side, I'll be looking at an area that is called the SSZ. the zone, and your people living in an environment tax free with their own laws and stuff like that, and we on the other side as the natives and other citizens who come to live among us be paying tax and stuff like that. And next thing I've been trying to fathom is like we're gonna pack over 40,000 people in 3,000 acres. I mean, that remind me of some places in Cap City. Gonna be highways. They're gonna be a real complex, compact community because Mr. Johnson said is a HOA development. They would like to hotels and the beachfront, but it's really a homeowner association, and we got to keep that in mind. It's a homeowner association. That's what it's all about for the rich. And I want to play some clips because Mario and Ian Patches Labour. Mario was very close to the Labour Party and worked close with the Prime Minister and at the hospital and stuff like that. And he spoke about some pointers. We have number one about walls and 5% of workers and 6,000 workers and different stuff that is in the alleged proposal about the destiny. These guys seem to be very credible, and then Patrick started to speak about the same thing. And I don't think these two, which is he was a part of Team Unity, so was Mr. Brantley and all these different people who formed Team Unity and stuff like that. So these guys, he know Mr. Brantley well and stuff like that. They all were in the cabinet. And I don't think these guys, he will also be malicious to make up these things. So it have to be some kind of, and they're speaking of the same document. I ain't seen no document. I have no access. But these two gentlemen, I don't think they discuss these things. So on two different shows, they're sharing and speaking of these things. So I'm gonna one at our show, I'm gonna use his footage. So I just wanna give them that respect, and also Ian Patches level that respect also, because if I'm wrong, then I'm going by the credibility I know on this guy being in the cabinet, and I won't think he would want to slander Femi and I answer the Femi no. These things was in and saying he don't know. So I'm just want this video to speak for themselves. And if you all want to see have seen this thing, then you can go to look for these shows and continue and see. I'll just play the first maybe 3 minutes or 4 minutes of these clips, and then we'll get into the conversation. Technician, when you're ready. The technician there.
This information that these are some of the requirements, are some of the proposal in that agreement, my good people. And I'm going to go over them for you. And I'm not here to bring likes, love, or anything like that. I'm giving you the facts. You, the CCM supporters, the NRP supporters, the independents, anyone who have interest in the livelihood and future of St. Kitts and Nevis. What I'm about to say, you tell me, the thread is there. Speak loud and clear. What is the benefit to the people of Nevis, or to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, when item one, an unclimbable wall from Saddle Hill to the port to be built? Hear me again. An unclimbable wall from Saddle Hill to the port of Nevis to be built. Several miles of wall, approximately 15 feet high, to keep out Nevisians or anyone who isn't a part of that zone from entering the zone. In addition to that wall being built, several miles of walls, the intention is to have two gates, a western gate and a central gate. The central gate is for the residents of the zone to go in and out. The western gate is for commercial intake. This gate will be located next to the Nevis port for workers who come in and out of the zone to access the zone. Citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis will use the western gate when visiting the zone. They will not be allowed to drive into the zone. They will have to park outside, and a robo vehicle will take them inside of the zone. And once they finish their business visiting, then they are driven back to the gate to go to their vehicle. My good people, I brought some attention to the Premier about a destiny project right here under our nose in the British Virgin Islands. Basically, Scrub Island, right after Atola, and Peter Island. Similar operation. The only difference at Scrub Island and Peter Island is that there no local residents live on the island. However, if you are not booked to stay in one of the hotels on either of those islands, you cannot be caught there after closing hours. There's a free ferry service from Tortola to Water Island and to Scrub Island. I can say to you because I took them. And the people knows who are visitors and who are workers and who are tourists. And once you don't have the necessary document, an ID, for example, as a worker, the question they will ask you, are you going for lunch? Your answer better be yes. Because if you're not visiting the island for lunch, or you don't have a reservation for dinner, you cannot enter those islands. And the
Technician, when you're
local
ready.
citizens that enter those islands is only during working hours. Maintenance workers, kitchen workers.
All right. And that was DJ Show. As you realize, he spoke about a wall, an unclaimable wall. I was trying to imagine, I see a wall that reminded me of the Trump wall when they were talking about building a wall to borderline Mexico and to keep out those from entering illegally and stuff like that. But it seemed like these guys want to build a wall. I mean, if I was a landowner and someone going to build such a wall, first thing I look at is, you're going to depreciate my land? Because that will be very intentional. Because why would you want to build a wall, something like that, unless you have what you're hiding? What you're hiding? Four Seasons don't have no wall around it like that around here, and all the different Marriott's and the Park Hyatt and all the different places and stuff like that over. And we have no wall, unclaimable wall, and I think Mauricio said approximately 15 feet. A basketball rim is 10 feet high, So you understand what 15 feet is really high. The amount of money a wall can build can really help a lot and do a lot when it comes to infrastructure within our community and pay taxes and stuff like that. So it's money, a lot of money is there to be wasted. So, and then he also spoke about a central gate. Mr. Jensen spoke about people living there is a home owners association, and I keep remind people that what it is. Okay, it's a home owners association. So it is not about no hotel. The main thing is about people living there on a day-to-day basis, and you and me gonna have to stop by the port and park in a park lot over by the port area designated and jump on whatever vehicle and chat us in and then chat us back out. Well, we have the business guy this. Okay, everyone I speak to about this Destiny project, all they telling me, oh, we're gonna get to work, And Bankie gonna get a banana sell. Well, Bankie not tell you about selling a banana. You understand? Bankie banana gonna get sell, yeah, that's serious. You think I rather sell banana to people who are supposed to be millionaires living on my island in an area don't pay no taxes, and they could afford to pay taxes because they do not like government. Because the man said they can't stand government because government are too corrupt. But our government still loving up these people who don't like government and giving them everything that they want. And we who are here willing to go along with it. and say we love this island. And willing in the next, my last youth is 6 years old, in kindergarten. In the next 10 to 20 years, she'll be 16 and then 26. In the next 20 years, you're telling me Nevis would have a population of over 50,000 people? Well, who gonna be the indigenous people? Because if me was a Jamaican or somebody from Antigua or Guyana, I say me a Nevision too. How we gonna tell? Well, who gonna tell them the lie when we outnumbered? That's the point. Huh? St. Bart's people are running, and St. Martin, those who have a few dollars is running, coming to Nevis because Nevis is unspoiled. And we here is not seeing these things. Okay? Look around us. Soon the beach bars expand, come all the way up to Cades Bay area. Already started already. When me drive, me not blind, make observation and I listen to when people talk, because people love to talk. Soon Penny's Beach will just be one of those areas. And below are the hotels and all kind of industries and stuff like that. So, technician, if you're ready again, we're going to run the next clip. Waiting on the technician.
St. Kitts and Nevis will not frustrate members from the zone from coming outside of the zone to invest or purchase property outside of the zone. And St. Kitts and Nevis, we heard the Premier say before that no one in the zone can come out and invest or buy property outside of the zone. But in that agreement, it says the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, now the NIA, will frustrate members from the zone from coming outside of the zone to invest or purchase property in St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, you all remember some time ago, the Prime Minister spoke about making babies. Well, I wonder if in addition to the 10,000 proposed individuals that are going to be in that zone, at a family of 4, 40,000, does they intend to come out and make babies in St. Kitts and Nevis and carry up the numbers as well? Basically, extincting nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis. What Astro say? They're coming back? What this and that say? We must not follow the white man wish? Where is Astro? Where is this and that to speak to their leader? Item 8. Again, these are information I uncovered from this agreement. My good people, keep your eyes open. They expect to have 3 hotels inside the zone, a total of 1,705 rooms. These hotels will be exempt from all restriction imposed, aka tariff, taxes, duties, and everything. They're getting everything free. Right now, we're struggling for gas in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, amongst other things. As a matter of fact, I guess I gotta find my wallet. I went to buy
Okay, technician.
sympathy card today for someone, and when I found out how much I had to pay for this sympathy card.
All right, guys. You get to understand where I'm coming from. You can, if you want to get the full length of those clips, you can check out the Murray show from last week and also the Patrick show from Monday gone, which was yesterday. So we're gonna take a technical break. We need to solve a little issues here, and then we're gonna get right back. So work with us. We appreciate it, but we have a little issue with technician. We want to sort it out. Technician, when you're ready.
Shabazz Organics, we believe real people deserve real food. So we're bringing you to Mansa's Last Stop, a farm where food barriers are removed and legacy is
In the audio
sustained.
era.
We believe there's power in picking. So we allow you to decide what leaves the farm and enters your kitchen organically. At Shabazz Organics, we believe real people deserve real food. So we're bringing you to Mansa's Last Stop, a farm where food barriers are removed and legacy is sustained. We
It's
believe there's
Yahsonn, not
power
me.
in picking.
Yahsonn.
So we allow you to decide what leaves the farm and enters your kitchen organically.
Beat the summer heat. Come and get your carambola, star fruit, make very nice drink. Come pick them yourself. All the trees them full of vitamin C, antioxidant, build up your immune system. Man's Last Stop. A whole shopping bag only $10. Half a shopping bag you pay $5. If you get $2, you must get some. Come get your carambola. Don't want to go to wait. Let's go, people.
Class and reliability matter, choose the ride that delivers more. Imperial Rides Transportation Services, where every journey is treated like royalty, from airport transfers, private events, shopping trips, island tours, and executive travel. Imperial Rides moves you in style, clean, comfortable, on time, every time. Book your premium taxi or tour service today. Call or WhatsApp 869-665-8459 or email elandflavas@gmail.com. Imperial Rides Transportation Services. Your journey, our priority.
This upcoming Mango Festival, which is this week from starting Thursday to Sunday, and then next week into you have the we call it the restaurant week. Get your sale. Your boy Pancake have a lot of stuff on sale for the Culturama, the Mango Festival. You want to look fresh and clean and stuff like that. Check out Pancake, a free Culturama sale, t-shirts, boxers, Nike shorts, belts, socks, vest, and white tees. Quality brand for great prices. The telephone number is there. Your boy Ronnie up in Kodako there. You know, Pancake is all about the most well-dressed for the last 30 years. So, you know, he's all about having the best prices and the best stuff to keep you looking good. So, Pancake, tell him here and Real Entertainment Network. And just tell him Bankie said you might give you extra dollar off or something like that. So, Pancake, big up yourself. All right. Yes, and we are back. We're here talking about the Destiny Proposed project. And Yahsonn, we have a few videos here to play, and we'll get right into it. Technician, get into the man, Ian Patches. Technician, when you're ready. All right. Well, while we wait till the technician ready, well, we have upload a video there because these videos is going to start and lead the way of the conversation going to go because two gentlemen, Mary Show and Patches Libert, both speaking and basically the same things. Okay, well, the technician is ready.
Enclave concerns. And I must admit, I must confess, my Straight Talk family, that I misspoke last Thursday when I posted the information about that security wall, my Straight Talk family. I confess one more time that I misspoke. I misspoke because what I said to you was or should have been the reverse. When I pointed out the broken lines, I referred to it as the wall. But the wall, as you can glean, if you follow that arrow, my straight dog family, to your right, it says security wall. That arrow leads to the blue line. So the security wall is in fact the blue line, and the broken white lines are in fact the road. So I want to correct that tonight. The broken line is the road, or what I call the physical segregation. One of the most emotionally charged aspects of the public backlash involves this proposed security perimeter or security wall. And the community's primary grievances regarding the Gingerland Infrastructure Center on three major issues. The fragmentation of Gingerland. Look at the layout details, my straight dog family, that have come to hand. That the developers acquired nearly 190 acres of land directly in the heart of Gingerland, stretching well above the island's main thoroughfare, the main road. And that routing is a highly monitored, secure perimeter through an existing community and effectively slices Gingerland in two parts, my straight dog family. It cuts Gingerland in two parts. And this creates an immediate logistical nightmare for residents attempting, or will rather, create an immediate logistical nightmare for residents who will attempt to access schools, churches, farms, and family homes on either side of the boundary. This is what Mark Brantley is doing, or trying to do to Nevis, my straight dog family. The island main road is a critical artery for local transit on Nevis. And there will be a definite disruption of the island main road on Nevis. Proposals that place parts of this thoroughfare under the jurisdiction or security oversight of the Destiny Project must have raised immense alarm. And residents must fear that even if the road is physically left open, the looming presence of security architecture, checkpoints, or surveillance will restrict native Nevisians' freedom of movement within their own parish of Gingerland. The physical existence of an elite security wall, paired with zones'
Technician.
rights to enforce its own regulations.
All right, Yahsonn. So you all can agree. Exactly. I was making a comparison with Patches and with Marisho. I don't think these two guys meet up and plan their shows and stuff like that. Marisho spoke about it on his show a couple of weeks ago. Just came on last week and came back this week again, make some correction about the blue line is the wall and the dotted line is the road outside, and the wall start from Saddle Hill, come all the way to the port. We both of these guys have the same information, just that Patches show a diagram of the layout and stuff, and he also went on further to explain that this gonna interrupt over 100 and something acres of land within that. The Destiny Project gonna interrupt going through over on that side over there. So we hear people going in, can't go in, but them in the coming out as a free. And as was explained that about 1,500 people come out on a daily basis. That's a lot of people. That is like Juvamani coming over to Nevis when the Sigiford come over and Charleston is packed. So we are really, really, if you see, that's why I don't think our people want us, they're ready for the fight. Because in stuff like this, and then you're going to see these people, as also mentioned, they're going to get their own power, geothermal, the kind of energy me here they want to produce. They want to sell energy. What they want to do in there? What they want to make? They want to melt gold. It can't be a gold they want to melt, man. They want to shape diamond or something. Because me not necessarily they want wind energy, they want solar energy, the geothermal energy. So they got geothermal. Well, how can they not? Well, how can my jail all over Nevis and the government now go? They got jail and geothermal over there. Me not understand that. This is too funny for me. People, this is what you are going to deal with. And when people want help, and when people want help, I don't see Nevis people want help and single people, because single people is just as bad as Nevis people, because what affect Nevis and affect Sinket affect both islands. We already have people here that they're from non-Caribbean, what they call it, CARICOM national, non-Caribbean nationals. God knows where they're. You don't know where they sleep, where they eat. They must be underground. And we got to deal with this kind of nonsense. We have to deal down on Penny's Beach. You understand? Last space could have given to the locals and have 30 or 40 small businesses where they're selling popcorn, lemonade, fried fish and Johnny cake and all the different stuff, rotis, ital spot, whatever, ice cream. No. We have a big coffee shop. Nevis coffee shop. You see? Concrete. Something is wrong with us. We are not, and these things going to continue. I don't see what's going to happen, and I know, either way, think it was the same thing. So I ain't accepting like these guys are going to sign this thing. Whether they sign it or not, mean a business. If we don't want it, it can't happen. Whether paper say anything, if you all don't want it, whether they sign it or not, it's just sitting down and accepting Nevlek doubling up with Bill, and we quiet like the footy with short. And also made to understand, so let me lie now. If I pay higher bill them now when it come to our land tax, they tell you not to pay your land tax, wait till we assess and stuff. That gonna double too. I made to understand that. It made to realize that we're gonna need a double bubble. They're gonna double up everything for us, because they're gonna do. I made to understand that our land taxes that we're paying gonna be double too. You see? But then I tell you that neither. So if and I stand to be corrected, okay. So take us for Virgin. You have up by Barnesgate, you have a guy up the building, a helicopter pad up in the air with restaurants, money rule Nevis. So you're telling me you're in Barnesgate and a helicopter fly over toot. You're not gonna peace neighborhood. So this and our people approve these things in a neighborhood like Barnesgate. And this was supposed to be a peaceful area. Man, come up flying helicopter and landing there so much of money. But this will happen when you take people money to invest in an airport. You see? They got their own way. They don't want to get and they want to control the airport too. We're not serious. So people, the land is open if you want. What is your take about this Destiny? If you're for the Destiny project, you give all the reason why you're for it and stuff like that. You also give your reason, because this will affect us either way. And I'm just giving my opinions and stuff like that, and where I see and what I see is facts. We're gonna suffer. Ain't nothing good gonna come out of this. How much work I get? Whether I got excavator push down this and push down that? Yeah, son.
Bankie, look out for a call. I just want to remind folks that the lines are open up pretty early. So if you want to call in, you're free to call in. Want to apologize for the little technical difficulty we had before. So feel free to call in and weigh in and put your questions on the wall. We may be able
The
to
call
get to
coming in, yes, son.
Okay. Yeah. Well, somebody called me a while ago, and I was telling him that they would have had to call your number in order to get in on the. All right.
Carl,
So
good evening. Yes, good evening.
Yeah, I'm just going to weigh in on the program.
Yes, go ahead.
And let me begin by asking the question: how gullible and low an individual can be, unless a leader, could be in that people coming into your land claiming that they want to invest. And the people who come in before you as a leader of the country is saying to you, I want you to have no oversight over what I want to put on your land. Because I do not trust government. You are the leader of government. The man is telling you, I do not trust you all. You should be treated the very same way we treat murderers and rapists and all of the like. And you still sit down with that individual to discuss giving that individual a significant portion of your land to develop. You have to be very, very low and absolutely don't care about having respect for yourself as leader of government and respect for the people that you claim put you there to lead us. And I'm speaking directly about the Premier of Nevis because he heard what Johnson said. But yet he is still willing to go. Let us look here. Rankley would have said that leadership is about making decisions. But when NRP made, Joseph Perry made decisions in relation to the fuel depot, the fisheries complex, the dialysis unit, geothermal, the poultry industry, spear, the cannabis industry, and the wind farm. The greatest critic to all of the proposed development was the very same Bankie who is saying that governments are elected to lead and should be allowed to make bold decisions. Well, all of these things that were outlined, they are not bold decisions. But then we go again. He said that people scoff at the establishment of the Bank of Nevis and the Four Seasons. What he refused and omitted to tell the people of Nevis and the world who were listening to him that CM led the charge against all of these development, in particular Four Seasons. You had people like Hobson and them who opposed the establishment of the Bank of Nevis. So when he was speaking about them. The CCM leadership, they are the main ones who oppose the establishment of Four Seasons. They are the ones who told individuals not to go down to Four Seasons to work. They are the ones who said that when they build it, they're going to build it in a swamp and it's going to sink and people are going to die. And so when he's speaking that way, he must tell the people the truth, and the truth must be told that the system,
Carla,
administration, and that. Go ahead.
Yes, I know you went in and said a lot of stuff. So why are the CCM supporters, any Nivision or Kitishon supporting a project like where we're going to be the minorities, where billionaires and millionaires living in their own private area, fenced in, own security, own their own hospital, own power, own water, bring people to build. Spoke to him and he said they're going to bring in their workers. He said that. He also said it's going to be a CBI project. Okay, so why are we accepting this stuff? And the proposal is where they said, the gentleman said they do not like police, they don't like God, they do not want to pay any taxes, and the premier said on this show here, and also in reference in his monthly what do you call it, the press conference, that he's gonna balance out by them putting in the road. That's all it is. So they put it a balance out so they have to pay the taxes. So why are we accepting this?
I do not, well, there are those of us who do not accept it. But I do not understand why there is not a greater outcry in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis.
Which mean, well, I'm trying to say that, which mean we are very comfortable by being in minority then. Because even for the NRP side, you don't see no marching. Even on the Sinkit side, for where all the different you ain't see no marching, no outcry. The rate of electricity is high on all of us. It's not like it's on one side. The rain, when the rain fall, everybody get the rain. And we have a proposed project support for 10,000 families. The gentleman say is a homeowners. What people can't hear, homeowners association. They're gonna be living here permanently. This is not like those CBI where you have 60,000 plus out there. Nevis it is. These people gonna be living here, coming into Hamilton area and into Caseby area, and you can't go in there. This is my problem. So this shows me we are not serious on both sides because we're not. I remember my uncle Kurtly name. May he rest in eternal peace. And Nana also. Big up Nana, Kurtley, Kitchener, all the way down to the ancestors. I remember when NRP was in power and they have the government apples up in Hamilton, up by the Bat Hotel. My CCM support Uncle Kurtley and Nana and some others. They used to up there every day with the placards in front of the parade and face.
For about 3 weeks, every day up the protesting.
Gotta big them up for that. You understand? Every day religiously.
So when we're talking about protests, I don't know how to us.
All right.
So somehow they are becoming scared.
All right.
In 2011, Mark Brantley lost an election in Nevis. And he and CCM was able to organize Mali in Charleston and create mayhem in Charleston for himself. Now, this is something that is going to affect all of us in Nevis. Not only us who live in now, but our children. And people are telling me that they are afraid to go out into public and demonstrate because they are afraid of being victimized by government. What greater victimization that we're going to have if he's allowed to do it? But you made a great point, Bankie, because the Premier said in his press conference today that the developer is proposing to spend $1 billion.
CBI money, passport money.
That is why he didn't tell the people.
Passport money.
He didn't tell the people that this $1 billion that he's planning to spend is our money, our passport money. Secondly, he didn't tell the people that based on the amount of passport that Johnson said, that they stand to make over $3 billion just out of passport money alone. And so when he's going to spend $1.something billion, according to the Premier, the man has seen a win-win ratio whereby he's starting out with a gain of almost $2 billion. And the thing that vexes me is that we have journalists sitting down before this gentleman month in, month out, and none of them could say to him, "But Mr. Premier, what's going on here? You're putting out this picture this man is going to spend." The man is saying that his development will be built up by CBI money. So whose money going to be spending? He's not investing any money. He is looking for us to invest. We must ask ourselves the question.
Caller, you can wrap up and then call back, and we get to the next other call. You can always call back if you want to.
Okay, let me just close with this and I shall come back in.
Yes.
We must ask ourselves the question. What is inside this destiny development that the Premier is pushing that is so sweet? Who stands to it the most if destiny happen? We'll come back with the answer to that question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yahsonn, I let the caller continue and make his point. I mean, it was a little lengthy, but so it's for them to give their opinion and their views. And Yahsonn, we, as I tell you, we are people, we're not serious. We don't love this island as we say we love it. We just say it, but we're not genuinely. When some of us are benefiting, and you see, this is what's going to happen now. So much people making money off of this selling of passport, and so much people are agents. So much people are contractors who get the job to build a house and little garden here and there. Them is so whole and make it a benefiting. They're not seeing down the road when they even open down realize, boy, what's going on here? I can recall growing up in the 80s as a young man, as a little boy. You could have count the few white immigrants who were on the island, Mr. Robinson and a few of them and stuff like that. You know them in the little mini drive now on the port your hand, they stop to give you a ride and stuff like that. No, boy, you got communities hiding up all in Golden Rock, all over in Fern Hill, hidden in their own thing, got the little meeting here and there. They're not mingling. They got their own meetings whether Wednesdays, Tuesdays, this and that, and chat who you know this person and that person gathering from locals there who they don't like and whatever and whatever and whatever. Because they want the island for themselves. You see, they left where they come from, and they getting what they can do there, here. And our people is who giving it to them. So are we people are the problem? Not vexing nobody who are we people are the problem. But you have some ever call coming in, so I'll take this call. Caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, man. How are you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, straight through it. I'm on already, right?
Yes, you're live.
Yeah, good evening to you, Bankie Yahsonn, and the listeners, man.
Yes.
You know, I have come to conclusions, and some of the stuff that I really want to say, but I don't think here is the appropriate place for it. But operating a dysfunctional society, St. Kitts Nevis, and it just seems like we have lost that radicalness of us. You know, we just become people that like beatman, bro. Wrong is not becoming right.
Well said.
And people, even in relationships, we are sitting there and batch from other people. We should not be that. We got a society in St. Kitts and Nevis is a small place. We went to slavery and we sent head there. Man, there's so much stuff going on. Sometimes you don't even know where to start, man. But this Destiny project, I don't believe in that project at all. Me personally, this is my opinions.
Yeah, but Carla, what don't you like about the project? Let's say what you don't like. We want those who support the project.
Let's go.
Well, list the first top three and top three. You just need three. You don't need to go beyond three.
First of all, the massive land grab. Secondly, they are going to use our land and resources to make that money for themselves.
And the last one.
The face of St. Kitts and Nevis is going to change. Man, we know when we put the white and the black people together, persons together, female and male, what kind of child we're going to get? A mulatto child. And the people in them is just sitting there taking this stuff. You know, the Prime Minister and the Premier, they're just creating a situation where confusing the people. The Prime Minister is saying he don't got control over Nevis lands. So on the Premier, on the Nevis side, the Premier can be empowered by him hearing the Prime Minister saying that every chance the Prime Minister gets, he says, don't have control of Nevis lands. Nevis can do what they want to do. If that's the case, why the SSC, which is now a law, was written that way, just like every time else before, Nevis has to get a project by the federal government. Why is that law written like that? If that's the case, Mark and them should have been able to do what they want to do in Nevis straight up. So they're just creating a situation where they're trying to puzzle the people.
Yeah, Carla. Nobody trying to puzzle the people. We know the card is already played. I already interviewed the gentleman. The gentleman spoke and said about the project. He is the one who is in forefront. So we don't need to jump around and act like bamboozled. We are the one who accepting this. We need to be honest about this nonsense and stop blaming Mark and the government. No, we need to done with that. We are the indigenous ones, my virgin. We are the coward ones. Marcus, we say, if you raise and not stand up to defend what you understand, what you believe in, or what you stand for, you have better died. Understand? Because we accepting it. So don't we actually are we the problem? And I'm gonna get this short mark on the topics. Are we are the problem? Stop blaming Mark, stop blaming Dr. Joe, stop blaming the cabinet members on them because they gotta do because they're not see things our way. Are we accepting it? Okay?
As far as I can tell, that Destiny project, if it needs to be signed, it's already signed already. We don't have the transparency. And all I can say going forward right now is if we don't get up and stand up for our rights, bro, that project is going to be forced on top of us. That's going to be the bottom line. And it's coming down the pike sooner or later because their man is not going with this project much longer. So the people in them, if we don't stand up, bro, we just going to have to suffer the consequences later on. And like I could make one more point is these coming in and they get all these tax breaks and everything like that. But we, the local indigenous people, gonna be holding up the system by paying taxes, but they're gonna keep imposing and rising up the taxes and the
good. That's a good point, there. That's a very good point, Carla. That's a very good point.
The reason why that point that I want to make there is like this. You see these cell phones that we got in our hands, only paying the phone bill. We don't really own these cell phones. So let me just reiterate quickly and I'm gonna get off. Like you said, this is a good point that I'm making, right? The indigenous people gonna be holding up the system by paying taxes for those big conglomerates, and that's where I'm there. Thanks a lot, man. And you guys keep up the good work.
I appreciate it. Yahsonn, I want to thank these callers for calling in and making their point. Blaming Mark and blaming nobody else. Are we the problem, Virgin? Are we want this? Are we accepting these things?
Bankie, this is what the show is all about. The show is all about giving the people the opportunity to express themselves because one of the major problems that we're having where this discussion is concerned is exactly this, that the people are of the view that they have not been given enough consultations. And I mean, I listen to a lot of things that's happening, and I think it has a lot to do with how we view democracy and some of the kind of legal games that are being played to some extent, and government playing the game or the card of, what is legal versus what is good governance in some of these issues. Because, there's the argument that legally there's no legal policy that says that the government has to show the electorate any project or proposal that is in front of them, right? And they would make the argument that many other projects were presented and well, we are not privy to whatever those projects involved. However, there has never been a SSZ project presented to us, and there would have never been an SSZ in the beginning. And I think sometimes as we go through this discussion, some of the reasons why we have some difficulties is because sometimes we are not necessarily clear on some of the issues, and we can really be upset with some of the things that's going on if we're not really clear on some of the issues. So, like for example, the SSZ, we got to understand as much as possible about the SSZ and the authorities that's given under the SSZ to better understand why a project like Destiny has to go through federal observance or scrutiny before it is presented. And it is because of how the SSZ was structured and the fact that the SSZ was structured through federal. One could argue, well, Nevis didn't have to go through that, but the SSZ was created through federal legislation. It was designed to create a special investment zone where developments would have national economic significance. Instead of projects being handled solely as a Nevis matter, they became matters affecting the federation. Think of it similar to an economic development zone, a free trade zone, a special economic zone. Once a project falls into that zone, additional federal laws and approvals may apply. So, what does the NIA still control? The Nevis Island Administration still controls many important things, including crown lands outside of federal restrictions. And when we say federal restrictions, would mean outside of that zone, because that zone proposed now, even though it is in Nevis, it is not necessarily deemed at this point. Well, it is still crown lands, but it's crown lands outside of the NIA full autonomous decision making process. So they will still have control over local planning, roads, water, utilities, and so forth. So the Premier, Mark Banley, is correct when he says Nevis has authority over its land in many circumstances. However, the authority is not necessarily absolute where federal legislation applies. Why is the Destiny different? The Destiny project is reportedly located inside the SSZ. And so this is what I'm saying. A lot of these things are hinged on the SSZ. So we got to take the time out to understand what's in the SSZ and what in there that trumps certain things. And some of these things we might have to get a legal mind to answer some of these things as well. But the SSZ changes everything. Instead of being simply a land transaction, it becomes a project that may involve foreign investment, international financing, immigration, custom, citizenship implications, which is federal, environmental obligations, national infrastructure, economic policy. Those are areas where the federal government has constitutional responsibilities. And because we put this under the SSZ, that is why the federal now would have to have oversight over these things. Why would the Prime Minister become involved? Because the Prime Minister head the federal cabinet. The federal cabinet is responsible for matters affecting the federation. If legislation established in the SSZ gives power to the federal government, then those powers cannot simply be ignored because the land is physically a Nevis. Think about it like this. Owning land and regulating development are two different things. For example, you own your house, but that don't mean that you could build an airport. That don't mean that you could build a refinery. You mean that you could build a cruise port on your land or build a nuclear facility without government approval. So ownership does not remove regulatory oversight. So that same principle may apply. Why the SSC was created? To attract major investors, create legal certainty, coordinate, because at the same time, Don Nevis may want to do certain things on its own. Certain things may still have to be signed on by federal government anyway. So as an investor coming in, I don't think, well, if I gonna do this thing, it might as well we go through this federal thing one time so that we not have to get all of these stumbling blocks. Standardized approval, ensure development. So
Yeah, but Yahsonn,
uh
we understand all these aims we're talking about. With the bottom of this show, the prime thing of this show is to show the positive and the negative. We understand all these implications, why this is created, but what balances out the advantage? Does the advantage outweigh the disadvantage? Disadvantage outweigh the advantage? That's what development is all about. So, and if our people gonna put something like this in place, they already know, even thinking about it, it is not a disadvantage. But then all them see money. Remember, these people make a whole heap of noise about this passport, 5,500 passport by this prison, and the prison still a bill. Okay? This 5,500. And remember, Mr. Patches, Mark, all of them was a part of Team Unity. All this was another team. Remember, this was another Team Unity. No, these people who did this now, or making it over, is doing over 10,000 passports, families, not passport, families. He show openly that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis want this. Because you're going to tell me you get up out of your bed, go march Labor Day, to march in a red and a different color when the Labor Union green. And now we are all the political party color. And you now go march for your own when it comes to this kind of development. What is the Southeast Peninsula? But I don't want to come down, We ain't gonna have access to our beaches. I don't see this thing gonna happen. We're gonna change them. For one, Villa Paradiso. We say you must have access. Any development, you must have access going through on your property. Which part do you want for Paradiso there? You see anywhere from the front road going through is a big gate. You can't even see behind the wall there. Not even from the beach. There is no access going through the property. The constitutions and the laws of the beaches say that you must have access on your property to access the beach. So how this development do this thing and you can't access to the beach to walk through? Walk through from the beach and you can't walk to the nowhere. So it just to show you we accept these things. They are planning department, the government department that accept these things and do these things. So we are the problem. I mean, I'm an excuse for myself. I mean, I'm an excuse for my children. I'm not an excuse for nobody else outside of my household. And I don't make excuse for people. So who want to keep up excuses and where we can benefit in? I know the outcome going to be me, and me go stay here. Because I tell you, I go upstairs on my roof, having my medication, relaxing, setting my mind frame for tonight. Okay? And looking at Port, Cherry Garden, look at them development, the Mondo Track. The second mountain, Nevis Peak, the dump. And the second Nevis Peak, me call it. Okay? And looking over as far as me I can see, over Brownhill and all, and you're telling me a port. It's going to have a wall starting. Well, I stand to be corrected when the premier come on the show and we talk about this. Because this was on the paper. How you want to tell me the wall? This wall is just not for it's going to devalue the land owners, them land that borderline it. And we here quiet. But we're the greatest people, and we say we date and we keep using this side. We have the and a capita when it comes to island so small, we get the most degrees. The most degrees. We are the brightest for such a small nation. But when it comes to standing up, no. All these churches we have around here, or it not affect them too. All non-NGOs organizations around here, it not affect them too. So why are we so quiet? Why are we so quiet? Well, what are we so afraid of? What we have made it so much now? We are out of the slavery time, so now we have nice cars and we have nice homes and white picket fence and all this stuff, and we can fly in all this. So all of a sudden now, Virgin, me last youth at 6. Me 49 years old. In the next 11 years, me go 60. You understand? That around the corner, me accept that. This me is a realist. Me not let me mind trick me and think me 24. Me last youth is old. So I know by the time I youth, if this thing happen, but within a short term, 26, where nobody know if me a native no more. Can you even say me saying a native? Because everybody become native. Because we gonna be outnumbered. Yeah.
Sometimes I think we don't forget. Sorry, no, we take on the wrong set of things to some extent because what I am seeing, right, is as you mentioned earlier, we
But
are the
we're getting to the
problem.
comment. When they don't make a point, we're getting to the comments on them on the wall. It's what the people are saying on the wall and stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
you say we are the problem, and you're
Yes.
right because the people who are sitting in those positions and who are claiming that we elect them to make decisions, and so they are going to make decisions on our behalf. we allow them, we encourage them on. We give them that sense of confidence to boost their ego in that way. And it is done. And it has been done over the years. And so, we can continue to do this thing. And that is the impression that is given. So why y'all want to come and make noise now when all of these things were done before? But like I was trying to say to you earlier on, and I think I see somebody making a comment in the chat saying other projects were done before without any consultation and so on, and they were referring to the Candy Resort. The thing is, none of them has ever been an SSZ, and this is why I'm saying that in some
If
cases
something is wrong, yes, if something is wrong and it is needed to be into the general public about the development and stuff like that, it is wrong. Whatever information is whether the such information, because in the development, especially in a neighborhood like over Candy Resort, it is a neighborhood, it's going to affect the area. At least you have a consultation within the community, because in the development, you're going to change the aesthetics. It might provide work in some positive way, depending on how extent it might affect the marine life and the beach like that. So all these
No,
things,
Bankie,
we
I was not trying to
no, what I'm
diminish
saying,
the
yeah,
fact
son,
that
I just
trying
no,
to diminish the
no,
fact
that's
that
fine. Well, all I'm
consultations
saying,
have been done.
yes,
No, so that's not what I was doing. I am in total agreement that when it comes to major projects like these, there should be consultation, and that is what
no
my
matter how too
argument is. That,
small it is, no matter how small it is, once an investment that gonna impact the community, you should have culture within the community, the positive, the negative, because you're gonna change the environment. That is just how it's done. That's the
and
reality.
and that is what should happen. However, what has been happening over the years is something totally different, and that is what has been come to accepted and to be accepted as the norm. And so that is why now when we who are now seeking and saying, well, especially with, and that's why I'm using this project, so to speak, the
Yes.
size of this project, the things that seemingly are included in this project that we don't know about. And one of the things that I have a problem with Bankie right now, that I have to be like many, and I'm right now trying not to do that. Like be so, like I have not
Yes,
privy
sir.
to
I
the
have a call.
information.
I have a
Yeah,
call
the
coming in
call.
here. Let me take this call. Hold up a minute.
It's all about the callers tonight.
Good evening. You're live.
Hi, good evening, Bankie. Good evening, Tafari.
Yes, you're live.
The point I was trying to make earlier is that, and it's a fear, because if you does not let this SSC or the Destiny project go through, I hear the Premier talking today about the federal government does not have jurisdiction over the lands and cannot tell the Nevis Island administration what to do with their land. And so this is my fear, and we have to watch the play. Because if they don't have their way, then due to sign off on this Destiny, they have the lands. The Premier can give them whatever they want. They could ask whatever they want. And because he's so Destiny thing, I think he's going to do all kind of negotiations with them. And they're basically going to have their way.
Yes, but
and
Carla.
what their customer doing.
But Carla,
Mm-hmm.
why would right thinking Nivisions accept they themselves have to pay taxes? They can't access the area, but them inside, what everything is just one sided. Why Nivision accepting these things?
This is why I would advocate and continue to advocate. We need to get up off our laurels, like my grandmother used to say.
All right.
We need to let it seem that we got the A out of the equation because we don't see what they are about.
Yes.
We have to send a stern message to the project manager now, who is Jens, not the owner, CEO, whatever he wants to call himself. Because now we got to understand that they don't tell him what they tell him.
So how is that?
He wants to believe.
So what the message is going to be?
Listen, the Premier said his night that this project could probably, I think he piggybacking a little bit because he's not sure what he's going to get. The Premier is saying that this thing might take 15, 25 years. The minute we see them start putting down a backhoe for the first phase, we got to insist that the tobacco don't come in John language. We got to find some way to cut off this thing because the premier tends to want to make people believe like because he and a handful want it, that's the way it's supposed to be. Because if he's really serious, what happened to getting into the communities and doing a petition like they find handy when they want? And let's get the true picture of who really and who really don't want this. But they can't do something like that so that the real truth can come out. And say if the real truth can't come out, he is leaving it open for people to take matters in their own hands. We're not talking about Jama oil. We're not talking about losing 4 or 5 pipes or a thing of black. We are talking about losing our prime land to people who don't give a rat hoots about us.
So what?
And this is what we got to stop.
So what message would you give to the people of Nevis when it comes to rising up, when it comes to this situation here?
It seemed like it's the premier that had the conversation with Jensen, sit down with him and form out this proposal. We don't know what's in the proposal. It's time to bring the proposal to us after they don't decide on it. And so it seems like we don't sell out. So we now got to get to the premier because it seems like the premier is the one that's gonna have to get to Jensen. Whatever they tell him, he's gonna have to understand what the people want. And if there's such a term, we tell Johnson that we don't want it. And right now he's not wanting Johnson to meet up with the people of Nevis, or Johnson could have our lands. And these are the things that the premier does not understand. It's agitating people. We have been sitting around and allow things to happen, and then we react, and they get away with it. Now he said today in his press conference, and I listened to every word in that he said. He said today in his press conference that he is not obligated to tell us what's in that proposal. I know in other parts of the world, when a project of this size, you see all kind of things, maps go up on the site, and people have a clear picture of what's going to be. Now the premier seems to think that shouldn't happen because he can just do as he wish and bring to do as they wish. Johnson them can't do these kinds of things where they're coming from. And so we have to start to send a stern message. One, whenever the election is called, we got to let these people know, want them. Because we've been taking this knockabout for too long, Bankie. Maybe we got to start to rise up. If we don't rise up, I am seeing happening. We're going to lose Nevis to these people. I remember when we used to go down by that White House down by Mosquito Bay. My stepfather used to try to teach us to fish. And they used to come out with a flashlight and try to chase us. My brother I had to stand up to them. And people don't understand. We have got to start to educate the younger people as to what is happening because they not teach them the kind of history they used to teach us. Have Bob Marley and them other guys' songs to listen to with the real hard lyrics to show us what past lives used to be. And so, got to find some that means to get these young people to understand what is happening right in front of our eyes.
I think this is beyond the young people, and this is a collective effort because it's gonna affect everyone. My last youth is 6 years old. She don't understand what's going on.
But
you understand?
And this is why we have your 6-year-old daughter. My children and me, but me not have no grandchildren yet.
Yes, but what I'm saying,
I will be damned if when my children them want to have a piece of Nevis or want to say they're gonna do something on my property in Nevis, they're gonna face with pushbacks because we're gonna be run by these foreigners, I'm going to call them.
Yes, but Carla, it goes back again.
I've been called a foreigner, but like the premier like to say Stringberry, that's
yes.
my neighbor Stringberry.
But Carla,
I will fight for it.
It goes back again. The Nevision living in St. Martin, in Anguilla, in Montserrat, in all these neighboring islands around here, and they jump and come to party, and they're here on island for the Mango Fest. They came for the music festival. Umpteen of them, if they again they could have match, they rather go walk up themselves. They rather come party and eat and drink. So we love to talk. We enjoy. We want with us. We love to talk. We on the talk. That is our problem.
We better recognize that this is 2026.
We still
And if
attack.
we're really serious and looking at how this world is moving, we would understand that we don't want to become like many places. I have been following the premier, and early in the year, I had used to like how he's talking because he was so adamant about not making Nevis like other places, keeping Nevis unique. When all the time up in January, man, this destiny thing up under the belt and saying all these things like keep Nevis unique. Then all of a sudden they change talk about keeping Nevis unique. Because probably all these enclaves around the whole of Nevis.
Well, we like it like so, Carla.
The seriousness of this thing, Bankie.
Well, it's not me, no. I overstand it. You see, me love to protest, you know. Me just naturally is not a slave. I'm a free man.
I've been in Nevis and changed my view to go in March. And to be honest with you, I really think that the turnout would have been better.
No.
I sit down here and I see them try to organize.
We're not ready yet.
Not seeing the numbers. People need to.
What you?
The population of Nevis in terms of adults is how much? You said 9,000 adults.
You just need enough people to get change. You don't expect the whole population is not going to work. But you just need enough.
We have a population of say let's 9,000 adults.
Yes.
Why are we so afraid of one man and how much more that make up his cabinet?
You tell me.
Let somebody else call it. Great show.
I would appreciate it.
Keep doing it. Love this show, guys. You all be blessed.
Thank you. Yahsonn, Carla, sorry about that. You're on call open, but Carla make a point. All right, we have a next caller here, Yahsonn. Carla, good evening.
Yo, blessed name.
Good evening. You're live on the topics.
So good night to the nation public, you know.
Yes.
Good program.
Appreciate it.
Food for thought, you know. Oh, you got people, man. We keep saying it, you know. This is not a NRPR system thing. This is a Nevis thing. This is a Nevis thing. The Nevis people don't get hot. The generation behind us going to get hurt.
Yes, sorry.
Ask us and the people, what we going to do? When we leave and gone, we'll let the generation behind us to fight apartheid. You know, plan? Well, if that is our plan, it's a stupid plan. And when you say to us as a people, Jed, it's time to marry. It's time to done with the talk. And get on the street, Jed. And show the nigger man that we're serious and we know what is garbage. Good night.
Good night. Yahsonn, I want to say this. Once this project happen and start, okay, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis ain't gonna be ready for this. They ain't gonna be ready for this. You're not gonna be ready for this, Yahsonn.
Here is this, right? Because we're looking at some of these things, but here is an angle that I am not necessarily hearing a lot about. So with the SSZ has placed, like we have said, the power within the federal cabinet to make some decisions. So for example, right now, you having a caller now?
No, I'm getting the comments on them. We understand it. What it is, the SSD proposal, no, not let people understand it. But the people just don't want the project. Period. Is just because Yahsonn, just the fact is that I put a tax.
Hold on. Just let me finish what I was about to say, and then I'll get into some of the comments. So what I'm saying is the SSC started to put the Prime Minister and the federal government in a position to oversee certain things based on.
Let me take the call. Let me take the call.
Yes.
Let me take the call. Good.
Yes, Bankie.
Yes.
The question is, why do we have an SSC? We have an SSC simply because they invest the money that they wanted, you know.
Of course.
That's why all the other projects that were here never had an SSC because it was not necessary.
Well, the Premier said that. The Premier said, I asked the Premier the question. That is what the Premier, the developer wanted. So that is the whole point. These things are because what the developer want. He don't want nothing else. Inclusive with the rights with all these no tax, no this, no that. This was the design to create just for this development.
And so you see that the Premier and the Prime Minister are not in control of what's going on here. The developer demanded what they want. The Premier rolled over to give them what they want.
So what the people of Nevis going to do and sing it going to do?
It left to us to do something. I really
like what? What are you going to do?
I really don't know. We should have shut down this place. This place should be
comedy show. I love it.
We should have already shut down this place. But you see, the Premier had already said it, and he feels empowered and emboldened to do what he's doing. Because there is no large backlash in terms of.
So what the people of St. Kitts, and remember, St. Kitts have a proposed white gates SSZ, by any necessary, Remember that Dr. Douglas spoke about that. The white gates is by any means necessary. The clips are there. I'm listening to all those stuff like that. When I speak, I can speak with the right information. So what are the people of St. Kitts Nevis gonna do? What are they gonna do?
It's left to be seen. The first
all right.
To make sure government. Well, firstly, let me say the second thing is about them out. The first thing that I believe should happen, there should be mass protests in both Charlestown and Bastille over this matter. Because this is a complete out.
So why it's not happening? So why it's not happening?
That's a question I can't answer. Otherwise, people are afraid. Afraid to stand up for their own rights.
So come in afraid.
Well, me, you are not afraid. The majority seem to be afraid. They have to prove to me that they are not afraid.
Yes, I did.
That's what they said to them. When the apartheid system was on, that's what they said to the black people of South Africa. The only how you are going to get the feet of the oppressor off of you is by you standing up to the oppressor and take it back.
So who is our oppressor?
The we have right now is the Premier and Destiny them, and we got to stand up to
them. No, Destiny them ain't a problem. The problem are we. We are the problem. Are we accepting these things? Don't blame Destiny. Are we give Destiny what they want? Remember that?
We are oppressing ourselves.
Good.
Well then, if we are oppressing ourselves, we need to take back the power and take the oppression off ourselves and put the pressure on top the Premier then.
How?
Protest.
When?
Protest.
When?
And protest.
When?
Starting tomorrow.
Okay. We'll see.
You have a good night, bro.
I appreciate it, Yahsonn. We all can agree on Yahsonn that this is going to change the landscape of Nevis in a positive and in a negative, but the negative outdone the positive because it's too much of mass. The influx of a small island. Got a call again. Let me take the call and continue. Carla, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Again, I listening to the program, and it seems like what I'm hearing that these people that they vote for, these 1 and 2 people, belongs to them. Well, St. Kitts and Nevis belongs to us, and we got to get serious. It's because we're not serious, This is not about the politician,
Yes.
Because the politician will look after themselves.
Of course.
We got to go look after our own self.
So what are we going to do?
Just like how we did 2011.
When?
Just like how we did 2011.
When?
A bunch of us get up and went out on the street.
So when they're going to happen?
Protest.
When?
And you will go protest for my own personal agenda.
So when isn't so when?
When you want to ask
Yes.
people if giving away the south to these pirates, because that's who they are. If that is not their personal agenda, but they feel like you ain't gonna affect the children and the grandchildren, let me sit down and we see what happens. Let me sit down and we see what happens. South Africa, for example, who know the history should know. Good night.
Good night, Carla. Yahsonn, go ahead.
You know, Bankie, I listened to the passion in the Carla's viewpoint and their comments on the wall as well that I'm going to get to in a bit, right? But here is one of the challenges that we have. This is why I'm saying go back to the SSC. The power is in the Prime Minister and the Premier's hand, so to speak, and cabinet. The
The
government,
power is in the people's hand. The power is in the people, and that's the mistake
Okay.
with. I mean, I agree with that. Let me take the next call again. Next call coming in. Carla, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. King. Good evening, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, good evening. Your life.
Yeah. Bankie.
Yes.
I don't really so like when you talk about this split, this for Nevis, this can be bad for Nevis. This thing is totally bad for Nevis.
Well, good. So what are you going to do?
Totally bad for Nevis. So, just sit down and say, when we're going to start, somebody got to initiate, somebody got to plan something. Why not start with maybe the Topiks show?
The Topiks show?
On target. Why not your voice for the NRP? People who are out there. Why not start? I mean, we have a Nevis civil society group that organize.
So let's say, let's say, if I organize a mad for against Destiny, how much people expect to show up? Me and Yahsonn and me, few virgin them, who expect to show up? 1,000 people?
Me not hear no advertisement yet.
Me just talk.
I ain't hear no advertisement yet.
All right. Okay.
I, for one, if I hear there's an advertisement going out, I go in.
All right. Well,
get the business to go.
Okay. Well, that's one up.
Bankie, this year is just about the Premier and his wife, you know?
Yes.
They put the line in the pocket. It's nothing to do with Nevis people. And he puts on some foreigner to go take advantage of Nevis people. And this could be a serious situation. It is a serious situation. The Premier need to look and see what you do. I know it's smarter than that. He got more sense than that. He continue like you got no brain. It is what it is. And all you do is come and chat rubbish. And this is serious. We hope he realize where he head. Come back. I mean no see he invest none of his land in the Destiny project there. And it's not that you know got land, he got land. You know sell none to Destiny. What's on Destiny who take people land? As if them entitled.
Carla, you just made a comment and said the Premier is alleged to have land in the area, but he didn't sell his land. He's encouraging other landowners to sell his land. You stand by that?
Bankie, I said he have land and he no sell none of his land Destiny yet.
Of course, yes.
But he have put some people.
Remember, I can't substantiate that.
So, not to substantiate not the Premier got land in Nevis. And who's on, sell none of his land to Destiny. But he want take over people and sell to Destiny. But he white for force people. Because I was being harassed.
So you are saying that the Premier have land in the zone area?
Bankie.
Yes.
Do not mistake what I said. I said the Premier got land.
But is it in the zone? Can we speak about the Destiny project in the area with the zone?
Bankie.
Yes.
I know it's not on you or show. Oh, maybe the town hall. The Premier zone could be related anywhere.
Okay, all right. I got you.
He said that a zone could be declared a 1 acre land if you want.
I got you. All right.
And I put that to the premier in the town hall meeting, and as usual, he just play stupid. The record is there. The record is there. I don't know. Listen, you know what? Tell me the other day he don't want to go Oxford. He said he don't want to go Oxford because if I got the kind of intelligence you come out with, he said he don't want to be there. The premier like a trust tool and hide the hand. I talk about you could sell the land if you want, and if you don't want to sell the land, sell. You decide not to sell the land, it start to cost you.
Carla, question. For about this 15 feet from Saturday Point Pier, Port, the pier, and the entrance of the two gate, if you're a landowner and you have land along that said, how will that wall affect the value of your land?
Bankie.
Yes.
I've been asking the premier the question from beginning and you know answer. You know answer. You know the smart man get on the show and say, oh, nothing goes so. But boy, in the proposal, and you know I don't tell you, you don't see the proposal. But he's so smart, he think that he could keep that a secret to his life. Instead of come and you show, catch a fever, and get down like a real idiot. To try and get a hernia over trying to explain that nothing goes so. Show me the proposal. Expose the proposal and show us that nothing goes.
So, Carl, let me ask you a question again. I know this evening I played some clip with DJ Maui show with the alert proposal and along with Patches. So if this is the alleged proposed proposal of the destiny, well, I mean, the premier can't say he can't want the premier to deny these things. Yes.
He got this thing on hide a secret and say we ask where is the secrecy. Bankie, the committee that the Prime Minister set up invite over people from the Historic and Conservation Society, people from the Nevis Civil Society, and a coalition of companies, of groups, coalition group, and they go over there and they tell them if they want to see what in the proposal, they got to sign an oath of secrecy.
Okay.
When you hear man say there's a 15-foot wall, I because I see it. It's because you see it. That comes from the people who see it. You could make us say what you want. If you want to say nothing goes on, trust the proposal. I put that challenge to you anytime. I put that challenge to you anytime. Every time you have a conversation with them, you make yourself look less than. And you don't answer the question. You never answer the question. You have to go around the bush.
Okay.
Come any day about a 15-foot wall. And the two holes in the wall, one for the inhabitants and one for the local people. And I challenge 5%. They come challenge me.
Well, the premier will be on the topics. The premier will be here in the next couple by the 14th, so you'll have a chance to ask the premier whatever question you all want. So get you all question.
I like when you come by the topics.
Well, he'll be here, so just giving the people know that he'll be here on the 14th, so you all get a chance. The line will be open up, so you're getting your questions.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I got some serious questions for him.
All right.
I've been asking him questions from beginning, and answer none. I asked him from beginning when he was making deal with these people, if he had the interest of Nevis people in mind.
Of course, the premier do. The premier have the best interest.
I asked him if he suggests to the people that since they got the big ideas, And they claim they have money because I mean, believe they got money.
People like a billion, I mean, they were crypto Jesus. What are you talking saying? Man,
Bankie,
what?
Bankie. Think it's Nevis CBI money, not that money.
No, they're crypto what? What do you call it? Crypto what? What is it? Crypto kings? Crypto Jesus?
You can let them fool you with that. Is them a crypto billionaire?
Yes.
What they want with Nevis crypto CBI money?
Because they're not going to use their money. They use.
They got money, but then I use their money, gonna use mine.
Yeah, money is the bank money.
Because what they think me a jackass? You know?
Where the problem, or we allow it, or we give to them.
Nobody could pull and trick for me.
All right. Okay, Carla.
Nobody could pull and trick on me.
I appreciate your call. You make a valid point.
I believe in the 5% what they say. I believe it is in the agreement. And if the premier want to challenge me, come. When he come, bring the proposal. Until then, I believe it's 5% jobs. People don't get, and then we got a 15-foot wall, nobody in there.
I thank you, Carla.
And I tell you, I got a small piece of land in the area out there, a couple of pieces of land in the area out there, and it's gonna be serious. Anybody who try put their hand on my little security, simple as that.
I appreciate the call.
If you take my security, I got nothing left. Alrighty.
I thank you. Yes, and the caller made some valid point, as the caller pointing out about this in the proposal speaking about. So it goes back again. What we're gonna do? Yes, and I got next call coming. We're not gonna break tonight. People want. Caller.
Good evening. This is Livingstone Williams, aka Stone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You're live.
You see, the lies and deception continue. The wants to punk people out because they only have 30% of the land which they need. So I don't know where they're going with this thing unless they're going to try to acquire 70% of the land. Proposal has so many things in it which would totally shock people. That's why they don't want to show it. If this thing from Dave's wife said, and the investors have said to me, it's a transformative thing for me. It's so good. And from the time I started to question them, they clammed up. Nobody wanted to talk. Nobody. Now it's coming out. They're going to have their own geothermal plant. So think of this. What do you think will happen if they get it before bank?
Yeah, so what is it? So why are we just keep talking and nothing is happening? Why we're not mobile? Why we're not agitative? Why is that?
Well, I don't know why people want to get serious. I'm getting serious because I've told them straight, don't bother me. I am prepared to talk to the Premier on his forum where he feels he's number one to show him he's not number one. Right? And the ones who I speak to, which I speak to many, right? I'm not telling nobody don't sell. I'm telling them consider what they're doing. Because once it's gone, it's gone. Because land is my parents, my father, who is deceased now, was alive. I'm telling you, he'd be sharpening his cutlass back in the belly because nobody would be telling him nothing about selling land. And these people have come with their lies, with their deception. We know what they stand for. In 2017, they posted something on the internet saying they are in the Caribbean negotiating with a government of an island, and they are shocked and surprised at how receptive they are
to their proposal. And somebody sent me this years ago. That is why when I met the gentleman Graham Brooks in Mark Brantley's conference room in Daniel Brantley and Associates with his wife, I knew immediately where they were going with this. And she immediately decided anything we speak is confidential. Hell no. That ain't going to happen. So people should consider all the subverted lies and deception which have been going on, which continue to go on. Because the SSD, and this is my thing, why I say this thing is dead. The SSD says that any proposal, and I would like Dr. Drew to talk about this and to explain why he's even bothering with them, because paragraph 5 says any proposal which is submitted to the federal government, the project must also have ownership of the land. And they don't own. Spencer Brand admitted,
Carla,
Mark Brantley admitted that they only had 70% of the land, which is a lie. But let's take what they said, 70% of the land.
yes, but Carla, what I'm saying, even if they have 100% of the land, even if they have 10% or whatever, for the 10% is 100%. Because that's what I have in my eyes. But my thing is, what is that make it confident for the project? That is my thing.
Sorry, say that again.
What do they have? If they wanted 3,000 acres to do the project and they only get 100 acres and they downscale to do fit the project within the 100 acres, that is the 100%, you know. But my thing is, whether this project, I'm just saying. My what do you say? That?
Brandon, I went into that.
Yes, but Carla, what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that, if you're not for the project, whether they have 10 acres, 1,000 acres, why we still debating and nothing is happening? That agitating. That's the point I'm getting at. Can we just keep repeating ourselves like over and over and over, you know, and not agitation? That is the whole point. A lot of talking. That is my point. So why is that?
People are afraid of kickback. As I say, he's trying to punk us out, right? There's people who will not be punked, right?
We're in a bad place.
I am one of them, right? And I am prepared to defend my property by any necessary.
Yes, Carla.
So let them work that out. And I wonder if they're prepared to do what is necessary to get my property and other people's property, because there's others.
Well, your property will be adjacent to a wall. Your property will be devalued.
No, my property would not be adjacent to no wall, because my property would bisect the wall.
Will do what?
Bisect it.
How is that?
Our land extends from Sandy to the sea. So we would cut Destiny in two.
Okay.
The estate next door, which is Pembroke Estate, which is 101 acres, also extends from Brown Hill to the sea. So that would also bust Destiny in two. So I don't know where they're going. I don't know how they're going to get what they want. It's not just a matter of them shifting.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Carla, this project should not be. We should not have continued this conversation if the people of St. Kitts and Nevis really don't project. That is my take, and that is why I'm not convinced that the people of Nevis are serious about the project. That they're willing to let the project go through and just sit down and accept it. And that is my take. I'm not going to shift this take and any otherwise.
Yeah, I agree with you, but you see, the Premier has been very smart.
No, I'm not about the Premier. Me not blame the Premier. Me back to the people again.
Because he has tried to. There's one that came on saying 1,500
acres of the land is controlled by 10 individuals, 4 who are not even born on Nevis. He has tried to disparage the fact that I'm British by saying that I should lose my accent. I've been here for so long. It's divide and conquer. He's trying to use the same thing Destiny is doing.
Yes, but the premier just being sarcastic and personal with you. That you understand?
No, that's his business. You know, I mean, that's what he's into. Lawyers and politicians are lawyers.
Okay, but you can wrap up. You can wrap up, Carla. Yes, I appreciate it. Yahsonn, yes. You can see people are very frustrated about the situation here, especially that the fact is that this gonna have their own way, and we out here gonna be standing up looking in. You can't say looking in, you can't see in. You're gonna need a drone to look over.
So, Bankie, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, right now, right, in terms of how the government is structured federally, if the federal government goes into cabinet right now to pass...
Hold it. Let me take the next call, and then you can continue it. And then, Carla, good evening.
Okay, hold on. As long as the caller could hear me, because maybe the caller himself also could weigh in on the response to so. But
I don't know.
As they could hear me,
I don't know the money staying, so I can't say that. So let the caller make a point. Guide, caller.
Yeah, well, I listen to the program still.
Yes.
And it's all like me hear that the premier got his own way.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he feel it. But Yahsonn belongs to the premier. Yahsonn belongs to him. And also so again, Nevis people, CCM supporters, NRP supporters, them who not support nobody. When we get up and stand up. Because the only thing we stand up for is our right.
Yes, sir.
And our right is to exist. And if you let these criminals, these pirates, come inside here, what happened to our existence? What we think can happen to our existence, Brethren? People get serious. Remember, we got chain and gone chain. And now stop, set up. Good night.
Good night, son. Thank you, caller.
So, let me about.
Yeah, sorry, Yahsonn, I call and click. Carla, good evening.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to ask a question real quick.
Yes.
4 Seasons, right? When 4 Seasons was started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did it start as a CBI program?
I can't answer the question. I don't think so. I think the people don't spend their money.
So why is it? I hear the premier said something last week, Wednesday, that 4 Seasons is a CBI program now.
Well, maybe no. The part taking it, I can't say. He can't speak on that part. Taking.
So then my follow-up question would be: can a project start as not a CBI program and then later a CBI program?
Of course, you can always assign. Of course, you can have. You can build. You have your land there, and you can build some building on your land and sign up to have them to into the CBI and stuff like that, and have them like time stuff like that. You understand? But they have to build at a certain kind of way, and that's all it is. Yeah.
Okay. And quick question to the gentleman that just came off, right?
Yes.
Assuming that he sounded like he said from the get-go, he knew what the developer or the realtor, when he was approached by the realtor, he immediately knew what they wanted the land for. So this question is not really for you, nobody. It's just something I want to put in the general public. How or why, how the rest of the landowners, or some of them, are saying that they didn't know what they want their lands for.
Well, he said that. Well, he said that because he was sent a video from 2017. So when the situation come, he said he put that that clicked in his head. Basically, I'm just using my own way. Yeah. That's why he make that assessment.
So he had prior,
that's all.
Okay, so that's all. And then along some of the lines where he was going is that the premier, he states that whether the man has
100 acres or whatever, it's still like you're still looking at it like 100%, like you were saying, and they can actually start building out with how much of a lands they get, and probably hope that landowners will come on board, people will come on board later along. And I'll probably leave it there for now, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, appreciate it. Yahsonn, go ahead.
So I was asking you, right? In terms of
Yes.
the government, the federal government right now. If they're supposed to go in the cabinet to try to pass a bill right now, do they have the majority of the vote to pass the bill? They would have the ayes of it.
They all agree. Well, of course, they all on the same beat.
They have a majority right now, right?
Well, of course.
So there would not be not enough opposition to even try to stop the bill if they try to put it in there.
But we all know that Yahsonn.
On the Nevis side, isn't that the same situation?
Well, of course.
So I'm bringing this to light because at the end of the day, the argument that is being presented is that with the SSZ, it is the first bill that makes sure that the project would be scrutinized by the public before it is sanctioned. But the argument that they're presenting for that is passing it in Parliament or presenting it in Parliament and saying, well, after the first reading, the public will get to read it. But then this is when it's going through the gate, and it's going through a gate that nobody can stop. So, but that
doesn't make no sense.
But this is what they are
That's
telling
why
us.
it goes back again, Yahsonn. It goes back again. We have to crap. And where the problem is, where the problem. When you hear the people make saying, "Oh, we're gonna," and the Prime Minister.
Bankie, but hold on. The same thing.
Me now we step on these things.
I heard the Premier today apologize for not communicating to the people before they put on the fuel surcharge. They put back on the fuel surcharge. But it's after the fact is done. If it's done, it don't happen. And
you hear me?
He apologize.
You hear me just say your land tax bill gonna double. You hear anybody? You hear any consultation with your land tax bill? Your land tax gonna double. You hear anybody saying consultation in a revenue? And nobody gonna say nothing about it. What you see?
This is the argument that is being presented that it ain't accustomed to happen. Now, okay, I got a couple of points before we wrap up because I know we're gonna wrap up soon too as well. Is the government
and pause and let those who in click remember to click and like and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Folks, if you love what you heard and you are hearing, before you leave, please subscribe to the YouTube platform so that you are informed and notified every time we have a program here on Real Entertainment Network. And make sure if you're going to be traveling between St. Kitts and Nevis, you travel with Islander Water Sports. And if you're going to be having a wonderful meal, make sure you check out On the Rocks and you could sit and enjoy the sunset and sip on a nice, beverage or whatever punches or fruit juices and whatever it is they have over there. Is the government legally required to present the project to the public first? In many parliamentary democracies, the answer is not necessarily. Governments are generally elected to make executive decisions. Major investments proposals often go through negotiations with developers, legal due diligence, financial review, cabinet consideration, and regulatory approvals. Before the full details are made public, this is partly because negotiations can involve commercially sensitive information, and governments do not want to disclose every proposal that may never proceed. So from a legal standpoint, the absence of a public presentation before cabinet consideration does not automatically mean the process was improper. However, legality is just one part of the discussion. So the government argument is many citizens would argue that a project in this scale should involve more than simply following the minimum legal process. If the Destiny project could significantly affect public land, the environment, infrastructure, employment, tourism, public financing, or long-term development of Nevis, then many believe the public deserves meaningful consultation before the final commitments are made. This is a governance argument rather than a strictly legal one. And, the thing is, at the end of the day, in a representative democracy, we elect governments to make decisions on our behalf. But when a decision could shape the islands for generations, is simply being elected enough? Or does good governance require governments to go beyond the minimum legal requirements and actively seek informed consent of the people? And this is the question that I think lies at the heart of the public. Because we hear the argument, I mean, you
Yes,
elect
son.
us to
That
vote, yes.
do not hold water. Them things that we have to move. We got to move away from this kind of nonsense at this age. Me 49 years old. You understand? We need to move away from this nonsense. Because we elect a government to manage their affairs. They do what they want. We need to move away from these things. And when they repeat these things, you hold them accountable, Virgin. These are bad
So,
policy
so
making and bad
I hear
decision.
you
Let me get into
asking,
these comments because we not
yeah,
entertain the talk there with the women.
I hear you
Because
asking this
we not
question.
stay all night. Let
I
me get
hear
this
you
call
asking
in.
the
Let me get this
question
call
already.
in.
Yeah.
Call in. Caller, quick and concise, please.
Good night again.
Yes.
What you know? We not elect the nigga man there who make that kind of decision there for us.
Agreed.
At all. We didn't elect him to make that kind of decision there for us.
Agreed.
Because I hear politician of his kind after 2006, 2007, 2008, we fought to Nevis people as sheep. We could talk about it, because me here. And you look like you're born out tonight. You look like that is the intention. But me no sheep, me and Bo hug. Me and Bo hug so they could go ahead. Because let it go ahead and think. They are force this thing on us. And in end like this, I hope they prepare.
Yes.
I hope when they want to force this thing on us, they prepare. And like us yesterday, they default to us today. Good night.
Good night. You see, we got to change the narrative, Yahsonn. Politicians speak like that.
Is a
We shall
march
not.
enough? Is a protest enough?
Huh?
Is a march enough? Is a protest enough? Can we do a vote of no confidence? Can the public create a vote of no confidence? Or if enough people go out there and march against it and have a public statement about it, would that be enough to say to those who are hell bent and pushing this through? I hear you asking the question all night. You're asking the callers the same thing, like, what is it we're gonna do? Cause we talking, and this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out if even these protests is enough, or if something like a vote of no confidence for our leaders to let them know that we're not
So
serious with this
who?
because here what
So,
Bankie, before you come in, right? What
yeah.
happened is we could have a situation like what happened in Honduras, where, for example, this government is hell bent and doing this thing here. Now, the only other option we have is to wait for an election to vote them out. But what if they don't sign on it now? An election is imminent in the next year. They sign on it now. And let's say now we choose to vote them out after. The opposition who is coming in now would find themselves in the situation that the government in Honduras is, where now the company is suing the government for billions of dollars for trying to breach a contract that they would have already put in place. So I'm just trying to put the seriousness of the issues that we have at hand and how serious it is for us to take action if we're going to take action before this thing go in the house and pass. Don't let it be like the electricity service, whatever.
Surcharge the bill. Of course. The
Surcharge,
surcharge, yes.
and then now get an
Yes.
apology after. Because this kind of apology is billions of dollars worth of apology. Because Honduras is experiencing this right now as we speak. And so I am just trying to bring the seriousness of these issues to the
Get in the
conversation.
comments. Let me get in the comments on them. Let me get in the comments on them.
So I'm here standing by. Trevor Benjamin says I'm here standing by. Oliver Libert says hi Kings. I am in tonight, bro. Justin Huggins says good night, my boy. Susie says Ampara. Oh, sorry. She was saying Amripali Mango was actually named after an ancient Indian lady dancer because of its unparalleled taste. It's known as the Queen of Mangoes. It's very popular in Bangladesh and India. Sherry Ann Richards says, good night, Kings. Ali Jeffers says, destiny is a way out of debt for the NIA. However, it should foresee the loss of our country by the influx of over 30,000 voters. Spiderflick says, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want. Sorry, if you haven't already. Help us reach more people. Like, subscribe, and support. And yes, we're encouraging all of you who are here with us
Yes,
to
I
like,
give thanks,
subscribe,
Spider.
and notification bell. Danny Herb says, blessed evening. Elisha Farb says, that's true, Bankie. We are the problem. People need to unite and be known.
Yes,
Come
I.
out of the hiding and in the bushes. Stoneman Williams says the project is dead. They don't have the lands they need. In response to that, Bankie, I think you highlighted the fact that an SSC can be 1 acre. So even if they don't have the amount that they would have proposed, they could start with 50, they could start with 80, they could start with 100, and then build out. Anyway, Bobby Jones, we have already lost St. Kitts and Nevis already. We will next lose access to all of our beaches. And that's a great point that you would have made, Bankie, in relation to the beaches, because some of these things are happening under silence. Because, for
Tell me
example,
which part. Tell me which part and power do you say who enter upon the property there down there so to access the beach? When
but
you're
these
supposed to get private beach access. Tell me where.
permissions were given by our people.
Well, where the problem, your son? We don't know where the problem.
Whatever
Where the
permissions
problem?
were given by our people.
Well, that's how you go back to where the problem again.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And if we're not careful,
Planning
as you
supposed to know
mentioned,
better with the infrastructure build out. These are the rules. You must have access drivable and walking area. You must have access in, and you ain't seen none of paradise. So no way none there. Okay.
the landowners need to boycott the Destiny project. Those ones who claim say they didn't know what they wanted the land for. What are they saying now? Why this isn't in court yet? The lies and deception still continue. Trevor Benjamin says we are still not fully free, we are still mentally enslaved. Carlisle Paris says destiny, if it is allowed, will be similar to apartheid, slavery, and segregation in that it was legal by law with all its faults. Bobby Jones says, much different in the USA. We see legal issue play out in the court every day, all day long. Like today, the Supreme Court vote 6-3 against Trump argument about birthright citizenship.
Yes, and hold. Start there. Let me take this caller. Let me brief, and then we continue carrying about to wrap up. Caller, you have to be quick. We get it in the comments, and then we're gonna about to wrap up. Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Bankie,
Yes.
the caller just now, right?
Yes.
When these people come and try to get this thing, right? It's a scam, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total scam. They didn't want to tell anybody anything, left them.
Yes.
That's why I left them high and dry. And Bankie, it was on your show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Jensen say they don't want no government oversight.
Of course.
No government oversight.
They don't like government.
How this crazy premier could agree to something like that?
They don't trust government. They don't want no rules.
Let's get down to brass tacks. You hear what Drew said? Drew said he nothing to do with Nevis people land.
Yes.
But he said he in charge of security.
Of course.
He in charge of health. He in charge of border. Border include customs. You hear the premier say he comfortable with them having their own police. And the reason he gave that, the police said they don't have the resources to deal with it.
Jensen said they would have better security, better than the police force here. That's what he said. So they can help train you guys.
What does it matter what Jensen say?
Yeah, man.
We are a year of entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we gotta be careful. Nevis people got to be careful. And they come here and they want to overrun whoever we got as government, and he got us a fall for that. He don't realize in 5 years' time he ain't over no value.
Carla, I want to ease up with it. I don't want to be calling the premier no name calling. I want to retract that. Remember the premier said nobody could fool. He's very smart, so you can't call the premier stupid.
Bankie.
Yes.
I want to ask you the same question I asked the premier. If you keep behaving that way, what word would you like me to use?
Which one?
Whichever.
No, you have to remember, the premier, he's doing this best for the best thing for Nevis people. You just don't see what the premier is doing. He's bringing destiny as he's the best thing. Us, but we just
I understand what you're saying, Bankie, but
yes,
let me tell you something, right? Please tell you something.
yes.
Don't believe that you're smart enough to know what's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Me can't tell you. Me can't make up my mind myself. You say, Premier, that this proposal, and let nobody in the Navy see this proposal, so I don't think it's when Drew set up a committee. Drew set up a committee to look at it. He said, Drew not include nobody from Nevis. Now you see the stupidity? An opportunity to show Nevis people, show Nevis people, think nobody in the Nevis intelligent enough to look at this thing and say, well, I agree with this, I agree with that, I disagree with this, I disagree. No. Everybody in the Navy is dumb. So I think it's now a talk about, well, Juno put nobody from Nevis from the committee. You had a chance to form a committee yourself, you know, do it. And you're going to tell me that's a stupidity? What else you going to call it? Man, listen, I had enough of that crap.
All right.
Enough of that.
All right, Carla. Thanks for your contribution.
Yeah, cool.
I appreciate it. Yahsonn. Yahsonn?
So yeah, so as we continue, no one dare try justify this crap. Stoneman Wall said that. Elisha Forbes says, Mark need to let us know what is in the proposal. How can we get Mark to tell us? It's very important. We need to demand answers from the Premier as soon as possible. So that is what you all need. That's what I'm saying, Bankie, and we all are saying tonight. Talking is not going to help you.
Hold on. Getting this
yes.
Carla, good evening. Answer, please. Wrap up. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bankie, good evening. I will be. I was just going to say, in addition to the point raised about security and their own good city, if Destiny actually cared about Nevis, the first thing that they would have done, if, as they say, they're so concerned about security, would have been to invest in our police, to professionalize our police, to expand employment by the police. You get the picture, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to be brief. I have some long thing written out, which I'm not bothered with. I'm just going to say, this is a situation that can only be solved in three ways. Is that the first way is not, it's just not happening. People getting out in the street and protesting. I've been to every protest, every rally, and the turnout is never convincing. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are against this project, but unless they come out and actually display a very convincing manner, it's not going to get anywhere. It's just going to be pushed under, bulldozed over, let's say. So the other two ways, the least attractive but most likely way would be through the court. That's going to be very expensive on citizens, and that's going to be some sort of sick citizens' money being used against the Treasury funding whatever KC the government have to employ to defend their stuff. And then the final way, oh boy, I lost my train of thought. There's one more way. Anyway, I forgot now.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Carla. Well, you can always call back on Friday, because Friday will have on the.
I'll just write it on the wall.
Yes. Okay, no problem. And also remember, Friday we'll have on the former Premier Joseph Parry. Well, the edition on this Friday, so you all can also get your question and answer also. But yes, and continue. I want to thank the caller for calling also.
Yeah, give thanks, Carla, for your contributions. Not Nevis. Nevis, we still own our land, says Stoneman Williams. Alicia Forbes says the leader lack integrity. That's okay for some. Crazy. Bobby Jones says we can jump and wave in thousands like the long jam from Gingerland. That area that's most affected, the distance of the long jam. Go jump and wave for a long jam against Destiny now. Bobby Jones says, was Four Seasons a CBI? Well, I think he asked the question already. The people are divided
Yes.
and the politicians are taking advantage of that. If we don't come together, we all will suffer. Yes, so again, it comes down to us, the people. Trevor Benjamin, the electorate process must change. First and foremost, you can live in the BVI for 50 years. You cannot vote. You must become a belonger. Bobby Jones says,
Mm-hmm.
NRP and all those who are in opposition want to get in should unite on these national issues, mobilize and protest. The message to Destiny should be they are not welcome here. Four Seasons was never a CBI project, Benjamin says. Bobby Jones says the people need to take power back from the two governments on both islands. We have we have the power. Alicia Forbes says, do the people realize that if the project was to happen, the Federation will be outnumbered? Shouldn't that ring a bell? Trevor Benjamin says,
Exactly.
yes, and the power lies in the hands of the two leaders. The power also lies in the hands of the people as well. Shut down the country. Benjamin says,
Yes,
we
I.
can trust. Can anyone trust the proposal? Can they show one thing and use the original? Sigaskell says, has the government given you confidence that they will show you an unreducted proposal? The premier is trying to intimidate people. Trevor Benjamin says their destiny is not our destiny, and there is no project without the lands. So, in essence, the landowners are the ones with the power ultimately. The question is for real, what is our next step in stopping the project? What are we willing to do? Bobby Jones says that apology from the Premier Yahsonn. I, I share the electricity bill gone up already. It's not going to come back down regardless if the fuel prices drop significantly. Sigaskell says in Honduras, to pass the SSG equivalent, the president had to fire the Supreme Court judges and relevant legislators and replace them with yes men in order to pass the law. Sinister stuff. Bobby Jones says great points from that last caller. Mark made political blunder in terms of that consent he gave the federal government, the prime minister to be the last say to sign off on the destiny. Sigaskell says to finish my phone call, the third way isn't really a way, it is a fact. We need a cometh the hour, cometh the man moment, aka a leader. Bobby Jones says the Prime Minister is Minister of National Security and doesn't care that those Destiny people may bring guns and drugs, ammunition. What about the human trafficking and prostitution and customs breaches? Over on the Facebook, we have okay, so we're gonna go back up the line here. We got Violina Ali says, true caller. Violina Ali says, talk truth, Bankie. Kevin Hanley says, good night, guys. This is my favorite topic. Violina Ali says, they need to get rid of this bad failure, man. Delicious Nichols says, Bankie, gather the people and take the charge. You'll be surprised how many would follow you. Nothing beats a trial but a failure. Sharon Stapleton says, Bankie, stop laughing. This is a serious matter. All of us, including you and our grandchildren, will be affected. Susie says, to be fair, the NRP arranged protests and the masses didn't show up. There was also non-political protests and they didn't show up. Violina says, yes, Bankie, the power is in the people. Delicious says, Bankie, I have seen NRP hold rallies. This is where if one comes forward, we all need to join in. What is our purpose if we are going to hold back because of who the one or two who step out? The most vocal opposition, Malcolm Atherton says, the most vocal opposition to Destiny aren't against development. Most would welcome it, but Destiny isn't the best interest for the people. Susie says, delicious Nichols Brown, they stay home and complain instead of showing up. Susie says, Bankie, can you lead the charge? I think I read those already. Okay. It's almost useless bringing the premier on the show because we don't get answers. Same rhetoric all the time. He has some kind of will for Nevis people, don't know about, because everything is lies, but he can't bring the truth. Stoneman talk long and hard, talk all the time. It was a fast from the start. Malcolm says this project is dividing the country. Susie says, I think the caller's land will be the end of Destiny concept. He's not budging. I'm here for it. Delicious Brown says, Susie Warner, the whistleblower, he recognized corruption, greed, and incompetence. Big up big up on the rocks. Throughout all of the options, Tafari. We can't even get a debate with the premier like they do around the world. Are we truly a democratic society? I agree with your statement, Yahsonn, says Sharon Stapleton. Joe didn't even think he's in charge of Nevis. Bankie, watch your words because they might really send the wrong message. The majority of Nevisians do not think destiny is the best thing for us. I think Bankie was being sarcastic when he was making that point to the caller, really and truly. But yeah, so that's most of the callers, and we want to thank all of the callers who would have been a part of the discussion and the debate this evening. We would have given you some extra time. We would have gone the extra mile because we know this is a large topic. We want to say thanks to all of those who called in as well. Some more repeat callers and so on, and you got an opportunity to weigh in and give your opinions on the topic, which is what we wanted, and that's one of the reasons why we have extended this show and I've given you the extra time. We want to thank the technical team behind Real Entertainment Network. This is a real international show. The technical people are all the way in Miami, and we are here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and we really make this happen. And so we really want to thank Iran, all of the other team members who really work behind the scenes, who y'all don't see, but is a part of the production. We want to thank all of you who are going to, before you leave this evening, who are going to go to the YouTube platform and surprise us that we have 100 or maybe even 200.
Yes, and let me give this caller. Let me give this caller the last call.
So while we have the caller coming in, go on over to the YouTube
Caller?
platform, subscribe to the platform.
Yes, you're live. You're the last caller, and we're wrapping up. Go ahead.
Somebody is saying that
It's
a way for Nevis.
Yes.
Do they understand that destiny is a tax-free, free for all bullshit? I mean, how you gonna pay your debts by giving away everything?
I guess
people need to pay attention. People need to study what they must say.
Well, is what the premier said. The destiny gonna get the hospital done. They're gonna get everything that you all want. That's what it's all about. Is the
I would like the premier to stop this beggy thing. Stop people who
Carl, we wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Thank you.
Wait. I want to thank the caller, yes, sir. But the premier said destiny is the best thing for Nevis. You're gonna get the hospital done. You're gonna get geothermal. You're gonna get all these great things. Then the taxes, and you are gonna pay taxes, and you all can go in. And of course, we love it like that. We love it just like that. What are we gonna do?
Bankie, I love how the caller made certain comments there at the end, but Bankie, we have some sad realities that we have to deal with, and I am really loving how the folks are energized, and the folks are calling in, and the folks are weighing in, and we really want to thank Islander Water Sports and On the Rocks for coming back on board and sponsoring the topics. We definitely want to thank Shabazz Organics and Imperial Rides Taxi and Tours for coming on board. We want to encourage folks too. You can, if you want to, have your business sponsor. You can sponsor. It might not necessarily be the topics. It can also be whether it's everything agriculture, or it can be the Quality Time with Alan program, or any of the other programs here, or we can just have your information being played on a daily basis on our platform. So that is another reason why we're encouraging you to build the platform. Go on over, like and subscribe. If you're here with us this evening, like, subscribe, and share, whichever one you're on. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch TV, like and subscribe. Bankie, I want to thank the callers. I want to thank all of the folks who are on the wall. Some of the callers and some of the messages we didn't get through, but we want to thank you. And your contributions, as always, has made the show what it is. And we want to just encourage you to share the show. Like, subscribe. Bankie, your closing remarks as we wrap up this evening's edition of the Topics.
Yes, and I just want to thank the callers for partaking in the show. We greatly appreciate it. The show couldn't have been without you guys taking part and all your and give thanks. Big up Plugger again and his crew and his staff over there at Under Rocks, Ramesh and his sister and the whole management staff. Greatly appreciate you guys coming on board. And when you guys go at the Rocks Island, just let them know we watch the Topics and see your great advertisement. And also, all those who listen, if you all want to partake and have your all own show, we can accommodate that. Whether you choose a day, whether it's a Thursday or whatever it is, we fit you guys in and give you all a spot, and you can partake in your own podcast, whether you want to talk about Destiny or whatever projects and different topics that can be accommodated and stuff like that. So we are here just like any media house and radio. We just want to say thanks again for choosing Real Entertainment Network. And when you guys see me, let me know you guys be listening, and glad to know that the works we are doing and stuff like that. So, and again, thanks for all those who come out at Mansa's Last Stop, Shabazz Organics, and support and keep my Uncle Mansa legacy alive. Tomorrow is road, and then Thursday you have curry chicken. Friday you cook up, traditional cook up, and Friday, Saturday you don't know, you get your car meal and okra and fish and oxtail, everything, and all the local drinks, and just a nice place to chill, watch the sun go down, or just watch the vehicles pass by, and still got the farm to chill back. And remember, this week start the Mango Festival from Thursday. I'll be partaking from the Friday. Case we buy Shaska, where we displaying the different varieties of mangoes, get some sampling tastings, and accommodating the mangoes for the mango company eating competition and for stoning and all them stuff. And then and also the Sunday, the big event. Definitely always looking forward for interacting. I meet so much people from all over, and people just travel just to eat mango and to be a part of this thing. So it shows that the event have grown into something big, and it's really putting Nevis out there. And definitely I would to see a shift change where the chefs and them get a chance to just sell the stuff, because the people that really want to come there to spend money and not just have a ticket, a little sample. People them really want a bigger spike, more and stuff like that. So hopefully that could be done where you charge them a little fee and you let them set up their stuff and sell small portions. I think something like that would work out better, in a sense like that. Hopefully can move and just go into that way for the next 12 years and make for years. And then so definitely again, and I would just want to say also, with the Mango Festival, is not me alone doing. I have a group of people and homeowners mangoes from where purchased from. Some will donate and stuff like that. So benefit half of this event by tourism contracting me, and others can make a dollar and difference at the same time. So it's all about networking. I don't have all access to all different varieties. So it's just working along within the community and stuff like that to make this possible. So just want to say thanks to all those who work with me throughout the years and continued showing the support and the love to make this possible. So you just don't see it happening, but I have to go through a network to know exactly. Right now, mango is dry, but at the same time, I'm finding the mangoes. So just don't take my skill set for granted. All right, big up again to tourism and the whole crew, Fia, and you understand, and Julie and Kevin and all those who are there, the CEO and all those who have part to do it and stuff like that again. So this Friday coming will be the former Premier of Nevis, Mr. Joseph Walcott Parry, which will be a special edition of the Topics on Friday. And then next week, Tuesday, we'll have an edition again where we have Cindy Maloney. She will be our guest. Cindy Janet Maloney, she'll be our guest. And the 7th, next week, Tuesday, definitely looking forward to that reason. And the 14th will be the premiere of Nevis and what the phase of Nevis and stuff like that. So Again, thanks again for all the tuning for to the Real Entertainment Network. And what we're gonna do? Are we the problem? We want destiny, or we don't want destiny? What we're gonna do? Keep talking? Are we gonna agitate? All right.
Yeah, man, great discussion, and I really want to thank all of those who have participated. It's Mango Month. You can't just say Mango Festival, for the next couple of days. It's Mango Month, and we want to encourage folks to come on out to Heritage Village, support the village, do the tour, and then stop by the Heritage Cafe and sit down and drink, something mango. We're going to have something mango for the rest of the month. We want to thank everybody. See you guys, as we say, next week for the next edition. I'll see you guys on Friday for Everything Agriculture right here on the Real Entertainment Network. Enough love, everybody. Guidance and protection.
Topiks. Bankie Yahsonn. Real conversations. Hey. Lately we be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. We be having conversations with the people, cause too many media houses changing up the news. Everything was green light, now we seeing red. Everybody got opinions, you got facts instead. We be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. Tuesday night and everybody tuned in live. Bankie Yahsonn bringing reasoning every time. Talking politics and the things affecting lives. Breaking down the stories they be trying to hide. Used to trust the system, now the trust gone. Everybody talking loud, but the facts wrong. People tired of the fake and the gimmicks too, so they coming to the topics for a clearer view. Got the whole Caribbean locked on the station. Real Entertainment Network, building conversations. No script vibes, not staged for the camera. Just real people talking straight with stamina. Maybe we be having conversations, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. We be having conversations, cause too many media houses changing up the news. Everything was green light, now we seeing red. Everybody got opinions, you got facts instead. We having conversations, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking truth. Sometimes Fridays got a special live session. Big topics got the whole place stressing. Agriculture, crime, economy discussion. Every episode spark another conversation, and the comments start flying when the live start. Everybody got a view from the heart. Some agree and some disagree too, but at least the topics bringing real views. No pretending when the mic turn on. Yeah, I send reasoning while Bankie stays strong. People checking in from overseas too, cause authentic conversation hard to come through. Everything was green light, now we seeing red. Everybody got opinions, you got facts instead. We be having conversations with the people, cause we feel like there's nobody really talking.